All right, folks, this is Xearrik, and as you can see, the Steam winter sale's going on, and I figured, you know what, this year, I want to go ahead and talk about some of the games that are on sale. I play a lot of video games, I own a lot of these games here, so, you know, maybe I can give some recommendations to some games, 'cause there's some good sales here and there, so let's take a look at them. I want to start off by saying, though, that nothing here in this Steam store is as good a deal as just getting Xbox Games Pass on PC, if you can get it, but you have to have Windows 10 to be able to run it, and you have to live in specific countries. I don't know if a VPN works or not, but definitely Xbox Games Pass is the way to go for most people. Get access to like over 100 games. It's like I would say it's like the Netflix of gaming, but it's better than Netflix. So it's not the Netflix of gaming, because Netflix, like the day a movie comes out in the theater, it's not also available on Netflix, whereas the day a game releases, it's also available on Xbox Game Pass quite frequently if it's an Xbox game, sometimes even if it's not an Xbox game. So I would definitely want to recommend that if you're looking for budget things. But anyways, let's go ahead and get in. Oh yes, and also be sure to leave comments about games that I might have missed. I just thought about that, because there's no way, there's hundreds and hundreds of games on sale, thousands of games on sale. There might be some amazing game that I forget to mention, or I just didn't have time to mention. Be sure to put that in the comment section if you have some advice for someone, me or other people or things like that. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I'm going to mention is Portal. I know a lot of you guys have already played this, but you won't believe the amount of people who has not played Portal 1 and 2. These are two of the best video games ever made. And I kind of treat them as one, because they're short video games. Like, you can beat Portal 1 in like 2 hours. And that's like your first time playing it. You gotta play Portal, all right? If you own a PC, if you have Steam and you haven't played Portal and you consider yourself a video game player, you're not. You're some sort of video game sinner or something. Look at this price tag right here. You can get both of them for $3. For $3. It's like saying not having played Portal 1 and 2 and liking video games is like saying you like survival horror video games and not having ever played a Resident Evil game. It doesn't make any sense. Play these games. I'm doing you a huge favor. If you haven't done this, you need to play these two games. They're so good. Trust me. Overwhelmingly positive. Is there any person ever in the history that, look, 98%, there's actually people who thumbs it down. I was about to say, is there any person ever in the history of video gaming who thought Portal wasn't the best games? They're good. They're really good. They're like Legend of Zelda levels of good, right? Like these games are going to be timeless, really good. I'm probably going to talk more about these games than anything else, because I don't understand how people for so long have never played Portal 1 and 2 when you can pick them up every single time there's a Steam sale for $3. Get the Portal bundle. You're gonna thank me if you've never played them. Next game. All right, and the next game here is Witcher 3. I know a lot of people have already played The Witcher, and as you can see, it's on sale. $8, man. 80% off. You can't beat this. This is one of the best RPGs out there in modern times. Really good, really fun game. Really awesome story, really massive, absurd amounts of content, just absolutely absurd amounts of content. And this is the game that made everyone love CD Projekt Red. And then they made a Cyberpunk game and released it way too early. Anyways, also, just to mention, the Witcher trilogy is part of this. You can get the trilogy instead. Witcher 1 and 2 are a lot more stiff and not quite as fun as Witcher 3, but you can pick them all up for $11, all three of them for $11 if you want. $11, three wonderful video games, though I haven't played Witcher 1 and 2, but I hear that they're great games. But I mean, for an extra, you're paying $8 already. For an extra $3, why not, right? Get extra two video games, entire video games for $3. Next game. Narita Boy is currently 50% off. 50% off. Look at this. Now, I know so a lot of you guys have never heard of this game before, but oh my god, this game is a fun pixel art game. I played it on stream a while back ago. The music is so good. Listen to this song. Narita boy. This is a ridiculous game. It's not that cheap at only 12 bucks, but hey, it's half off. So if look into this game, you can play a demo. If this is a game you're already interested in, 12 bucks is a steal. All right, next game. This right here, I think, is a bit more of an example of the fact that I'm going to be going through a lot of games that I myself am not playing. And it's like I played Sea of Thieves. I'm trying to like be eclectic. I'm trying to have a bunch of different games that I've played. I did play this, but I didn't play it that much. And it was pretty fun. But this is a party game. This game, the water, the seeing, going through the ocean and sailing, it's pretty fun and interesting. I think that this game is going to be a blast with friends. If you're looking for a game to play with your friends and do goofy stuff, playing music together, sailing the high seas and doing some things like that, there you go. This is a shenanigan game. It's $20. Seems a bit steep. It's free on Xbox Games Pass. Well, not free, but you know, it's Xbox Games Pass. You pay the monthly fee and you get access to this. But if you only play games on Steam and you want this and you want a party game with friends, it's 20 bucks. Bit rich for my blood, especially since I can play it on Xbox Games Pass. But you know, there it is. Next game. All right, so the next game is Ori and the Blind Forest. In fact, the next few games are going to be related to Metroid. Metroid Dread came out. Everybody making a big deal about Metroid Dread, this $60 game that's a couple hours long, and it was okay. All right, it's not the best game ever. I'm sorry. It was a decent Metroidvania game. I enjoyed Ori and the Blind Forest and its sequel a lot more. Now the thing is, this is only this is $5. It doesn't appear to be on sale, but if you go over here, you can actually get the bundle. Unless it's off a sale now. Everything's supposed to be on sale until January 5th. There we go. You can get the bundle here where you're getting both games, Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps, which is the sequel, for only $14. And you're paying $14 and you're getting way more content and way more joy and beauty than Metroid Dread. If you're like, oh my god, Metroid Dread, I love Metroidvania games now, play Ori and the Blind Forest. These games are beautiful. They're absolutely breathtaking and fun. And Ori and the Blind Forest. If you're a Metroidvania fan, why have you not played these games yet? All right, why have you not played these games yet? And we're gonna have a few games like this back to back. Basically, me crapping all over the fact that Metroid Dread is a $60 2D platformer when you can get way more content out of an indie studio for so much less. Next game. And the next game is, as you can see, Hollow Knight. Dude, Hollow Knight took me like 60 hours to beat or something, and I didn't even 100% all the content. It's absurd how massive this game is, and it's so fun. Dude, this is a Metroidvania game that puts Metroid Dread to shame. So massive, so huge, so fun, so interesting, and very challenging at times as well, like stupidly hard in some points, but fair, almost always fair. And so much complexity with all these little abilities and whatnot, and the way you can mix things, so much more content, and so it scratches the brain so much more, or stimulates the brain so much more than a game like Metroid Dread. I'm not saying Metroid Dread's bad, I'm just saying it's woefully overpriced when you get a game like Hollow Knight that you can pick up for $7, and it's like 10 times bigger than Metroid Dread with like 10 times more complexity. It doesn't make sense. If you liked Metroid Dread and you haven't played Hollow Knight, what's wrong with you? It's $8 right now, even with tax and rounding up. Next game. All right, and here we are going through 3 games. That's right, 3 platformers, because Metroid Dread is so overpriced. I'm making fun of it. Bloodstained: Ritual of the Night. This game is another really good Metroidvania game from the father of Metroidvania games. This guy worked for Konami, and they started making him make cell phone dating games or something like that for years. And he's like, I want to make some old Metroidvania games like I used to. And they're like, no, those games that genre's dead. No one likes that. Go ahead and make cell phone dating games instead. And so he eventually left the company, started his own studio, and made Bloodstained: Ritual of the Night. This is the guy who made Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and it's very much in the same vein of that. And it's a wonderful game, very good, and bigger than Metroid Dread, really fun. Only $16, 60% off. It's a steal. If you love Metroidvania games, you're gonna love this. I think that's my last Metroidvania game of this. We're gonna go into the next game now. Next game. All right, the next game is the various Dark Souls games, and I don't think these are that good of a deal. I know it says 75% off, but as you notice, it says $60. $60 for a game that released in 2016 is absolutely ridiculous. That's a scam. So it's basically $5 off. It should be a $20 game, and it's basically $5 off. However, there is a bundle, I think. I can't find it, but Elden Ring is coming out. That's the thing. Elden Ring is coming out. Everyone's going to be hype on Elden Ring. Everyone's going to be playing Elden Ring. Everyone's going to be loving Elden Ring because this studio knows how to make Dark Souls style games. They're their own thing. They're great. They're lovely. They're wonderful. And all the Dark Souls games, not just this one, are currently pretty heavily discounted. Fake discounted, by the way, not real discounted, but pretty heavily discounted. And I recommend the first one more than the third one. I like the first one way more than the third one, but most people prefer the third one because it moves faster and looks prettier. But the first one, which is currently 50% off, and a bit more of a reasonable price because this released only a few years ago as a remastered version, but I still feel like it's a bit too expensive. I'm pretty sure there's a Dark Souls bundle. I just don't know how to purchase it. I don't remember. I could be wrong. But yeah, this is the one I recommend. It doesn't look as good, but let me tell you. Do you like video games? Do you like 3D video games? Well, Dark Souls has the best map design of any 3D video game I've ever played. Period. I've never seen anything before it and never seen anything after it. There's something to be said for experiencing the best a genre has ever done. And as far as like a 3D adventure game going on type of thing, there's never been a better map design than this. It is. You start to play it and you're like, whatever, you know. And you start to get deeper and deeper into the game, and the way you start, there's no map in the game, by the way. There's no map button, and you start to, at first you're like, it kind of grates on you a little bit, but only for a short time. You actually start to learn the entire game because everything's put together in a way that just makes sense, and it's just so good, and you'll know where everything is. By the time you've beaten this game, the entire map will be in your head, and that's why I'm so glad that they didn't put a map in the game, because it forces you to learn what the map is, and by the time you're finished, you have that mental map in your head, and you just have a ridiculous amount of respect for the majesty that is this game's map design. And I like the clunkier, slower combat personally myself because it's very methodical. Yes, I know the faster combat in the other Dark Souls games, whatever. Yeah. Excuse me, but something's lost when you speed up combat like that. This is very methodical. You make a mistake and you know it's your mistake. It's not some fast, unreactable bullcrap thing where it's like, whoa, what's happening? Everything I'm being overwhelmed. No. You see what's happening, you react, You react. It's your fault if you die. It's your and it's your triumph when you finally defeat these really tough enemies. And it's also horribly, horribly your fault when you die to the simplest of enemies, because you screwed up. Like, you will die to some of the simplest of enemies, even later in the game. And you'll know it is your fault, not the game's fault, because the combat has that very, like, I don't know, I almost would like call it like an original Castlevania game. How Richter has this more stilted, or the Belmonts had this more stilted, slower movement. Like, because there's like Simon and all of them. I don't know why I went straight to Richter, but this like slower, methodical movement. When you jump, you have that momentum, and when you move, you do this, and you stop to do that motion. Like, it's very, very structured, and it just, I really like Dark Souls. I spent way too much time talking about this, but hey, Elden Ring is coming out. A lot of people are going to be like wanting to play this. If you want to see the pedigree that these developers have, Dark Souls is the way to go. Everyone's heard about it. It's Valheim. Valheim is discounted, not that heavily, 25% off, but Valheim has not been on sale too many times since its release. You can get it for 15 bucks now. If you've really been wanting to pick up Valheim and you're like, oh man, I don't know, well, here you go. You can get it for an extra 25% off, $5 off. And yeah, if you want to play Valheim, now's the time to go ahead and pick it up. Really cheap. Well, not really cheap, but slightly cheaper. But you'll know if you want to play this type of game. I'm not recommending it to you like some heavily, like you gotta play it. Like, you'll know. Anyways, next game. Stardew Valley. That's right. Stardew Valley is 30% off. Any percent off is a steal, because this game is lovely. Are you one of those weird people who enjoyed Animal Crossing? Well, this is way better than that. Buy this game, play this game, you'll love it. This is a wonderful game, dude. So freaking good. I could not, like, I'd always kind of wanted to play it a bit, but I thought I would enjoy it a bit, and so I eventually would get around to it. But I really love this game so much. If you have, like, you're like, you know what, I might like this game a little bit, but I think you'll probably fall in love with it. And wow, the amount of content in this game. It just, every time I thought I was done, it just was like, oh no, you've just begun. You've just begun. And it just kept going. So much stuff, so fun. I played this game, we streamed it for like 100 and something hours, and there was still more. There was still more. So, next game. Divinity Original Sin 2. Wow. I really wish you guys liked me playing this game more. No one watched this when I was playing it, so I moved on. But man, this game is so fun. It is a very, very, very in-depth Baldur's Gate style game. I can't remember what kind of RPG it is. It's like this. It doesn't look like this. You can zoom in and make it look like this, but most of the time it looks like this over the head, turn-based, like this turn, then that turn, then that turn, that turn, that turn, that turn. And you're doing all these spells, and everything interacts with each other in this really cool way. It's like you have one of your characters like cast like a water spell on the area, like vaporizing, and then another character use lightning, and then it electrocutes everyone, and then you can use fire to vaporize the remaining water, and then it turns it into like a steaming, burning mist that does extra damage, and then you can interact with that, and then that obscures view, and like there's all these cool elemental reactions, like even with blood. There's all this interesting stuff and all these interesting elemental reactions when it comes to this. If you're a big fan of these over the top, like, I can't remember what the perspective is called, but if you're a big fan of these kind of RPGs, Divinity Original Sin, very fun mechanically, and the storytelling, mwah, really good, really good. I mean, I have one tip for you though. Take the animal talking skill. I can't remember what it's called, but always take the animal talking skill. So much extra content that you just walk by that doesn't exist to you because you can't actually speak to animals. Plus, there's some pretty funny puns every now and then. Oh, the amount of sheep puns. I think it was either sheep or goat puns. I can't remember. I think it was a sheep. At the beginning of the game, if you have the animal talking skill, in the tutorial area, you'll come across a sheep, and you can keep using sheep puns while talking to it, and to the point where it gets so disgusted with you, it refuses to talk to you anymore, ever again. This is a fun game. It's 60% off. It is really good. Really, really good. If you're into this style of game, you're going to want to play this. Next game. So the next game is Kimchi. Kimchi. Currently 40% off, $17.99. And this is a pretty freaking fun game. I don't know how to describe it. I really don't. Watch a gameplay video of it. You can turn this almost into like a turn-based RPG because you can pause the game at any point. But man, it's like this big open world simulated thing where like look at this combat here, where you have all your characters and their characters, and you can micromanage them if you want, or just let the AI handle it, or you can be like, okay, I really got to save my people. Pause. All right, I'm gonna tell him to go here, him to go here, him to go here, him to go here. Unpause. They all start to make their movement. Pause. All right, I'm gonna tell him to attack this one, him to attack that one. You can start micromanaging everything, and it's like this big simulated world where you create a character too, or a doggo that comes with you, or you can train one and on the end throughout the game, and you gradually get stronger. At the beginning of the game, you're just running from every fight, getting your butt kicked, and every time you get your butt kicked, if what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That's how this game actually does work that way. You get toughness and things like that from losing fights. And but if you lose a fight and you're unconscious there, some slavers might come by and enslave you, and then you actually are enslaved. You're working in a slave camp, and you got to try to like escape, or just work as a slave for the rest of your gameplay if you want. I don't know, it's up to you. This game, you just do whatever you want. There's not really a story. The world does have a story, but the game isn't a narrative story game. You create the narrative. Anyways, next game. 7 Days to Die. I mean, you've played it, right? I don't know what this live action cutscene is here. That's weird. Anyway, 7 Days to Die. You might not have played it. I mean to say, if you played it, then you own it. I don't know why I said that, but it's 75% off. Good thing. If you've been thinking about playing this, it's just like Valheim. This is a game. It's totally up to you. You've seen this game most likely. Have you been like, I really want to play it. I really want to try it out. Well, now's the time to do it. If you really want to try it out, it's $7.49. Isn't gonna really get cheaper than that. So if you really wanted to play 7 Days to Die, you know you've wanted to play it. I'm not recommending it. I'm not talking against it or for it. I enjoyed the game a bit myself back when I played it when it originally came out. Really long time ago, way before this, in fact, because I bought it before it even was on Steam. So I don't really know all the additional content, but they've added tons and tons of additional content since the last time I played it. And hey, if this is your type of game, doesn't get any cheaper than this. Next game. The next game is Outer Wilds. 40% off. I haven't played through this game in its entirety, and I always mean to keep going back to it and playing it. This game is really good. If you've played every game under the sun and you're like, man, I just want to play something different, this is the game for you. This game is Groundhog's Day. You're this little alien creature on this little alien planet, and today's the day of your first space flight, and everything goes horribly wrong. Groundhog's Day! Today's the day of your first space flight. That's the game. You have a solar system to explore. There's all kinds of crazy mysteries, and you just start to unravel things more and more and more as you play through Groundhog's Day. And you don't really revisit the stuff as much as you would think. At least for me in my gameplay early on, there was always something different to do. So even though it's Groundhog's Day, it's like, you know what? This day I want to go that direction. This day I want to go that direction. This day I want to go that direction. And every time you go in a new direction, you find out some new lore that deciphers what's actually happening in the world. Like you're starting to figure out more and more and more about what's actually happening, and you start to put it all together like this giant puzzle where you're just, you know what? Hey, I found this corner piece. Let me put that there. That's what the game feels like. It feels like you're putting this giant puzzle together by going to all these various places, and then you learn something about that place you've already been, and then you revisit that. Because in this other place, you learn how to do a thing, and then you go back to that other area you've already been, and you do this cool new thing in there, and then you unlock a whole new thing. You're like, wow! Outer Wilds, very different style game than any game I've ever played, and it's actually really, really good. And it's currently 40% off, 15 bucks. Pick it up if you're looking for something different, something new. Next game. Subnautica is the next game. 50% off, currently 15 bucks. Here's the thing about Subnautica. You remember what I was just saying about the last game? Are you getting tired of things? You want to do something different, but you want to, you know, that kind of thing? If you're that way with survival games, if you really love the survival game genre, and you've played every survival game under the sun, but for some reason you never picked up Subnautica, well then play the survival game Under the Sea. There's a story. There are credits. You can beat it. It's really interesting. But at the same time, it's very open. My advice for you, if you decide to play it, read the lore when you come across it in game. Scan all the things you can scan with your little scanner, because you unlock new technologies and also find out lore that way sometimes. It's really cool. Really cool. Really cool. If you played tons and tons of survival games and you're looking for something different, Subnautica's the game for you. Next game. Death Stranding on PC. Yeah, I know. Everyone says it's a walking simulator, but this is going with the same theme of if you played every game under the sun. You could currently pick this game up for 18 bucks. 18 freaking bucks. It is a beautiful game, and it is a strange game. Kojima is a crazy genius, and he's just a weird person. I don't know. He's just weird. He's just a crazy weird person. I don't know, man. And he actually made a game that is just about delivering packages. But wow, it is so in depth. Cyberpunk Death Stranding. Apparently there's unique content that's only in the PC version. I keep thinking about picking this up. Don't expect this to be the best game you've ever played, but do expect this to mix it up. It is a very different kind of game. It is a very different kind of game. It is, if you're getting burnt out because you've played so many games, this game is like, it's like Zen sometimes. That's one of the reasons I enjoyed playing it myself. You could just zone out. You get your packages, you do your thing, you're walking across the world, and he somehow made it kind of is a walking simulator. But it's the best damn walking simulator that's ever been made. And there's something to be said for the best version of a genre ever done. So, Death Stranding. You've been thinking about giving it a try? It's 70% off, man, and it's on PC. Pick it up if you want. Next game. Wasteland 3. The game from the creators who brought you Fallout, the original Fallout, not Fallout 3 and all the other ones. The people who also made New Vegas, actually. Except this is the way the game looks. Don't trust these trailers of these types of games. These RPGs, these over-the-top turn-based RPGs, like the other game I was talking about, Divinity Original Sin. There we go. Like the other game I was talking about, Divinity Original Sin. It's like that, except it's like cyberpunky, not cyberpunky, but it's post-apocalyptic Fallout style. Good humor, interesting combat, interesting game, interesting lore, interesting storytelling. It's a good game. If you like these kind of RPGs, it's up there. It's really good, and it's pretty freaking cheap. So why don't you give it a try if you're into this kind of stuff? Next game. The next game is Dying Light, currently 60% off, 12 bucks. Look at that. I enjoyed the heck out of Dying Light. I played the crap out of it. This was a gift to me from one of my subscribers. I believe it was Alex, and we played through this. It was super fun. You can play it in co-op too. And I did play it with solo and sometimes with him in co-op. Though it was a little less fun with him in co-op combat-wise because he was so powerful. But it was still more fun, as in, you know, you're hanging out with a friend and doing silly stuff together. But yeah, good game and really cheap right now. And Dying Light 2 is coming out, and if you're wanting to play the first one because you're not really sure, you know you're going to play the second one, I mean, and so you're like, maybe I should play the first one before I play the second one that's coming out soon. 12 bucks. Oh, the game. What is it? Parkour style, weird first-person zombie murderer game. It is fun. Watch a few trailers for it. You'll know if you want it. The next game is Yakuza Like a Dragon. Oh my god, this game was so fun! This is probably the best JRPG of 2020. I don't know if this won any kind of awards, but it damn well deserved it. Currently 40% off, 35 bucks, 36 bucks. By the way, it's on Xbox Games Pass. A lot of these games are on Xbox Games Pass. Not all, mind you, not even close to all, but you can get quite a few of these games on Xbox Game Pass. This is a turn-based RPG that is absolutely over the top, silly, and so fun. Did you see that? She just started beating him up with a cell phone. Okay? Or not a cell phone, but a cord phone. Oh my gosh. It is so... Look, did you a lobster was attacking someone. That's Nancy Chan. Nancy Chan is our waifu, all right? Yes, that's right. A lobster waifu, all right? Nancy Chan's the best. Nancy! Yakuza Like a Dragon. Kitty! Pick it up. You won't regret it. Oh, and various other Yakuza games are on sale, by the way. There's a lot of Yakuza games pretty steeply discounted right now. This one's an RPG, a turn-based RPG. The others are like action RPGs. So, you know, play those. You know, they're not all the same. I've never played any of the other ones. If you want the other ones, that's on you. But this one here, oof, only one I've ever played, and baby, I love it. Oh yeah. Next game, the Bioshock games. I think there's a collection for these. Here we go. Yeah, Bioshock Collection. That's right. All 3 freaking games for 12 bucks. All 3 games for 12 bucks. Bioshock Classic. You've heard of it. You know if you want to, if you've been thinking about playing it or not. There's no better time to pick it up at only 12 bucks for all 3 games. Next game, Skyrim. No, all Bethesda games. You already own Skyrim. This is the Anniversary Edition. I don't recommend picking this up. It's like almost the exact same game for only 5 bucks less. But I mean, I don't even know. Is the original Skyrim even on sale? They might not have put the original Skyrim on sale. Yeah, 40 bucks. This is not a good deal. I mean, I remember picking. I think I picked Skyrim up for like 5 bucks. But the other Bethesda games like Fallout and stuff like that, and probably like Oblivion and things like that, you're probably gonna get much better deals. Like, yeah, there you go, 6 bucks. Bethesda games are Bethesda games. You know it if you want them. Why is Deathloop Bethesda now? Yeah, whatever. Fallout 76 is discounted. I mean, they're all here. Fallout 4 is $8. Buggy pieces of crap. New Vegas, $3. I mean, really, it's not even that really much of a deal. You're paying $3 for the game, but then you spend like so many hours having to mod the game to make the game run properly, that if you would have just worked like at a job for that many hours, you'd make far more than than like a $60 than if this was like a full price $60 game. So it's up to you whether or not you want to play a Bethesda game. But all the Bethesda games are on sale, as you can see. Not even the games made by the Bethesda studios. Just everything owned by Bethesda is currently on sale. Dishonored, Fallout, Quake, they're all on sale. You know what? If you want it, pick it up. Next games. Darkest Dungeon. That's right, Darkest Dungeon is currently $4. Do you hate yourself? Do you like turn-based RPGs? Play Darkest Dungeon. Enough said. Next game. Nino freaking Kuni. I haven't beaten this game yet, but man, this game is so charming. It's a Studio Ghibli video game. It is an RPG. It's a turn-based RPG, old JRPG style. You go into combat. They're standing on one side. There you go. You're standing on the other. I think you can move around, though. Yeah, I see her moving around. So you can actually move around during the combat. I forgot about that. But look. It is a really good game. This is such a charming game. Look at how thick that kitty is. Meow. It is such a charming game. It is a Studio Ghibli video game. You like JRPGs? Do you like Studio Ghibli films like Princess Mononoke? This game's made for you. And guess what? There's a sequel. 75% off. $12. Well, the Nino Kuni 2, does it recommend it? It doesn't recommend it down below. It should recommend it down below. That's weird. Nino Kuni 2 is even cheaper because that's a remaster of the original, so it's a little bit more expensive because it's new. But this one's $9, and this is the sequel. I haven't played this one. Look how charming this is. Ah, man, I need to get back to playing Ni no Kuni. This is such a charming game. It is so Studio Ghibli. If you like Studio Ghibli, if you like JRPGs, why haven't you played this yet? I don't know. I'm asking myself the same question all the time. Next game, Starbound. You like Terraria? Do you like sci-fi games? Terraria in space, but way more complicated than Terraria. There's more. There's way more than Terraria. I played Terraria. I played this. This game is very interesting. The different races and companions you can get, and like when you're creating your character at the beginning of the game, there's all these different races. Like you can be a race that's made of gas. And there's like a bird race and a fish race and no cat race. So it does get a negative mark for me on that. I think Terraria is on sale too, but it's nowhere near as cheap as this, I think. Let me check. But yeah, if you like Terraria, you like space, play this. You won't regret it. Speaking of Terraria, it actually is on sale. For some reason, I didn't think it was on sale. I thought I remember checking. But yeah, it's $5. If you want to play a more clunky version of Starbound, play Terraria. Yes, like it actually feels like a clunky version of Starbound. I tried to go back to this and play this after years because I knew they added a bunch of content, and it just felt so clunky. And I was like, I do want to play it, but man, I just got so much. I got used to how Starbound works, and I just rather play Starbound. So, give it a shot. You've heard of Terraria, Minecraft, but side view, 2D Minecraft. You can pick up a 4-pack for you and your friends if you have a whole bunch of friends. Not a loser like me, right? Next game. So these last few games are going to be some honorable mentions. And Dark Souls currently 15 bucks. I think that's $5 off. I know that sounds like not correct, but $60 for a game that is 3 years old seems a bit pricey to me. So I think that that's currently $5 off in my opinion. But hey, you can get the deluxe edition with this stuff. I don't know what these things are for an extra $5. I don't know. You'll have to look into that yourself. Eventually, I will play this. By the way, I believe this is on Xbox Games Pass. One of many games I recommended today that you can also play on Xbox Games Pass. Next game. Tales of Arise. I have this game on this list because all the games. I actually played all the way through this. This is the best JRPG of 2021, if you ask me. Great game. You can play the demo if you want. Game is currently 30% off, not that big of a discount. However, game just came out. I mean, it came out September 9th. What are you gonna expect? Great game. Really good. If you're waiting for a little bit of a discount before you bought it because you don't like buying games for 60 bucks, here's your little discount. If you can't wait for it to get any deeper, now's the time to get it. Now that might sound weird to you because you're like, wait a second, why are you putting this game in the games section that you haven't played? And that's because Tales has a lot of video games. I don't know if there's any kind of bundle. I don't even think there is a bundle, but let's take a look at this. Here we go. I found a list of it right here. So Tales games. The reason I recommend this game is in this section of it is because all the Tales games are currently on sale, the ones that are available on Steam. I've heard great things about them, but I can only recommend Tales of Arise. I do know that Tales of Arise has a much bigger budget and is a much deeper game or bigger game than these games. This is the first of the genre of this series where it really blew up, where they had a bunch more money to make it really big and beautiful. So these games are a lot older, and as you can see, it look a lot more different. But if you like those old JRPGs, they're all on sale if you've been thinking about playing the Tales series. Now's the time to pick them up. Bayonetta on PC. Currently 75% off, $5. I have not played this. Heard nothing but good things. That's why it's in this section. You've heard about it. You've been thinking about playing it, and you wanted to play it on PC instead of the inferior Switch. I don't think Bayonetta 2's on the PC, unfortunately. But yeah, here it is, $5. Back 4 Blood, next game. Look at you, Back 4 Blood. I've heard nothing but good things about this game. Don't know anything about it. Can't really recommend it. Horde-based shooter co-op game. People were talking about it. They seem to like it. Do you like horde-based shooter co-op games? Then maybe you'll like this game. Back 4 Blood, currently 40% off. Also on Xbox Games Pass. So yeah, next game. Next game is various Resident Evil games. They're all on sale. You know, if you've wanted to play them, including The Village, 35% off. You know, if you want to play them, you've played them. The only one I played here is Resident Evil 2, and it was pretty faithful, pretty decent adaptation of the original Resident Evil 2. Yeah, here they are. They're all on sale. You want to play a Resident Evil game? Now's the time to pick them up. If you've been thinking about buying one, you're like, I really wanted to play that Resident Evil Bioshock. And they might be on Steam, Xbox Games Pass. I know this one for sure was on Games Pass, but I don't know if it still is, because sometimes Games Pass games pass off of the pass after a certain period of time, sort of like Netflix. Next game. And the final game on the list for today is Satisfactory. I've heard nothing but good things about this game. Have you been thinking about picking this game up? Now's probably the time. It's 30% off. It doesn't really ever get that much cheaper. So, you know, $10 off of a game that a lot of people who played it recommend. I don't really know almost anything about it, but I've always wanted to play it myself a little bit. I don't really have a lot of money though, so I'm not just going to go around buying any game that I can find. So I won't be picking this up, unfortunately, because I already am in the middle of a bunch of other games. But Hey, I've heard nothing but good things about it. If you've been waiting for it, now's the time to pick it up. All right, and that's it for today. Make sure to leave comments about games that I missed. I know I missed a ton of games. If there's some specific, unless you don't have any specific game, but if you have some specific game or like, why didn't you mention this game? This is one of the best games ever made and it's like 70% off. Put it in the comments section. There's no way. I mean, my video would be 10 hours long if I went through the entire Steam store. I just listed like a good, I don't know, 20 something games. There's a lot of games here. A lot of games. Portal 1 and 2. Why haven't you played it? You know who you are if you haven't played it. Why haven't you played it? It's $3 damn for two of the best games ever made. Buy them. If you buy nothing and play nothing from the list of games I said today, other than 1 or 2, these should be the 1 or 2 games you get. $3 freaking. 2 of the best games ever made. If you look up any top 100 list of video games ever made, Portal 1 and 2 will always be on them because they're that good. But for some reason, there's a huge amount of people who have never played them. Very weird. Anyways, that's it for today, everybody. Be sure to leave the comment about the games that I missed, and maybe I'll see that and be like, oh man, that's a game I forgot about and I wanted to play that myself too, and it's 85% off right now. Wow. Anyways, my throat has been killing me. I'm gonna have to edit this video to heck and back because I've been coughing all throughout it. And yeah, so that's gonna be it for today. I hope you guys enjoy it. Be sure to leave the like and all the other things or whatever. You know what you're doing, but just buy Portal and play Portal. Trust me, you won't regret it. Bye.